What's good, y'all? It's time for another Should You Summon, and in this summon video I'll be giving you as much information as possible for you to prepare to not summon on the weekend. Yes, you're not going to summon on the weekend because future banners are the reason why we're not going to be summoning this weekend, and we'll go basically banner for banner and having a look at and comparing it to banners we'll be getting in a week to maximum around like 3-4 weeks. So first off, on the normal summons we have two different banners that will be coming in. One is going to be a Lucius and Volcra banner, a normal 15x banner, which is pretty decent if you're still missing Volcra for gear rate 1, if you're missing her for GVG, if you're missing her to affiliate her to your potential Praetors. Get her there if you're looking for an anti-heal option because you still don't have any. Lucius also on that banner, so just from the 15x heroes it is by no means a bad banner. And then we have a 2x by 15x banner. Now this 2x by 15 contains 3 heroes. Those are going to be Aris, Lucius and Boreas. So everybody should know Boreas. He does anti-heal, he does freezes, he does AoE damage. He fell a bit from grace, but he's still a very solid AoE mage. So how about we go above the other two, or about the other two characters real quick. Alrighty, so here we are on the test server, and this is Aris, the Longhorn Impaler. He looks really nice, basically straight out of World of Warcraft, your standard warrior type lookalike, buff guy, horns, and what can he do? Now, we actually managed to run out of skill up resources on the test server, so you have to live with him not being completely max skilled. So we have the talent, basic attack applies defense reduction of 20%. As I've already briefly mentioned it, he's kind of like your budget Toreador because, yeah, he does apply the same defense reduction as a Toreador, but he's not a lord, right? So, Aris is not a lord, but he is a Nightmare faction unit, he is a fighter, and if I had to give him a rating, I would probably call him like a B or an A in terms of grades, because he's just a very standard unit, he doesn't do all that much. So he has, if we look at his base stats, he has a nice chunk of HP at 28,000, he has a nice amount of HP at 6,200, he does your standard damage 120% on the basic attack. He has a 25% chance of dealing 200% damage with the basic attack, and targets inflicted with vulnerability by the hero himself take twice the damage, and during the ultimate the chance increases to 35 from 25. And then when deployed, immediately attacks up to 5 enemies in front, dealing 400% damage and inflicting stun and vulnerability. The issue with that is on deployment, right? So this talent only works once. And then we have Outrage, increases damage by 70%, dealing damage has a 40% chance to inflict vulnerability, 30% on the target. So overall you can kind of see him as your in a Nightmare faction buffer. So for example, if you're running already Salazar and Arrogance and you don't have a Lust, then you can for example slot him in if next to your Wrath if you do not have a Toreador. So he is really good at increasing the damage of the Nightmare faction if you do not own a Toreador. And then for the next guy, let's have a look at Lucius. So how does Lucius work? Lucius deals basically he does his basics attacks and then has a chance to launch his pursuit. If you're interested in seeing like a completely dedicated showcase to Lucius, I already have that on my channel, you can check that one out. It's called the Lucius and Micah Showcase, and basically every time he pursues twice he gets a damnation stack. If he reaches 5 damnation stacks he turns into a demon. If he turns into a demon, he increases his damage, reduces his attack interval, and guaranteed triggers pursuits while not being able to gain any rage during Demonic Embrace, as well as not already stacking up on the next damnation. Then we have his basic attack where he just does 120% damage, prioritizing airborne units because he's a marksman. During the effect of Demonic Embrace, every attack ignores 30% of defense. During the ultimate, increases single target damage. So this is basically a skill that increases both the ultimate and his Damnation or Demonic Embrace talent. And then when attacking elites or bosses, the trigger chance of pursuits increases by 15%. So from 25 to 40%, which is really crucial. and then his basic attacks also restore extra rage. The reason why that is so crucial is because his ultimate is going to be absolutely bonkers for Guild Boss 2. He loads the weapon with sanctified bolts, increasing his damage by 30%, so far so good. Basic attacks and pursuits deal an extra 150% damage one time, why not? And then here, Pursuit has a 4% chance to dispel a buff from the target upon hit. When activated, dispels all damnations or damnations inflicted, and the hero won't be inflicted with damnation during the ultimate. So him in Guild Boss 2 is going to be the one that, if we check out Guild Boss 2 real quick, most of you already know it, especially if you faced him once, but you're going to be able to, come on, give me the sight. You're going to be able to get rid of these annoying Aegis mode hardening stacks. So these increases physical damage and magical damage reduction. You're going to be able to get rid of that with him. And that already makes him really fucking unique, really useful. And also he's the only one at the moment that strips buffs. So you sure as hell know that he's going to have applications in future content or potentially even current content. I would have to look through pretty much all of that. So that is Lucius. Let's get on with the reasons of once more why you shouldn't. Back we are with the normal banners and surprise invocation of spirits. Honestly, if you have too many summons lying around, if you're interested in spending money, then definitely go for this one-off offer. Get yourself 2 legendaries for the price of 1 at a guaranteed 100 average to get a legendary. But the important part is the ancient banner. So this is the first rerun we have for an ancient banner ever on global, I think. So the Morrigan and Lugaru banner has been one of the earliest banners when it comes to ancients. But the crucial part is, as good as Morrigan is as a lord, as sexy as she is as a mummy, and as nice Lugaru works as a bleeder, they can't compare. Because we already know that the week after this banner, we'll be getting Immerit and Volderon on the banner, and then either 1 or 2 weeks after that we get Jira and Praetus on a banner. They do not compare. This banner is bait, absolute bait, easy skip. They can't compare. That's simple. So if we check out these units real quick, Volderon, absolute beast when it comes to damage, absolutely mental. The only weakness, I guess, is him not being able to hit air. And then we have Immerit. So Immerit is going to come alongside of Honora. Immerit is going to have a bond skill for Honora. So if you're interested in summoning for Honora, then going for Immerit, or for the chance for Immerit to get that bond skill is also really nice. And also vice versa, the bond skill from Honora is really nice for Immerit. If you want to know more about the two, I have a video on my channel already. And yeah, that as usually as said isn't actually it. We still have Praetus. Praetus is, especially with the release of Guild Boss 2, probably the most dominant unit in pretty much every piece of content. He's absolutely ridiculous. His skills are ridiculous. His modifiers are ridiculous. He has a ridiculous triple chin, and that describes him pretty well. Now there's then one more unit that I guess you kind of wanna probably see, and that's going to be Jira. So let's have a look at her real quick. Alright, so here we are with Jira. Let's go over her kit real quick if you wanna again see an in-depth one. I have a Enid and Jira showcase already on the channel. So she increases max HP. The higher her max HP, or basically the higher her HP, the more damage she takes. That's going to be important for her kit, because she does 120% damage to one enemy, and every 3 basic attacks she'll do a death penetrating attack equal to 100% the total damage the hero has taken previously, and the accumulated damage will be reset once it takes effect, and she can't take more damage than 150% of her max HP. Then we have the Retribution mechanic. Retribution is inflicted on one enemy, and that enemy is going to deal 30% more damage to her, and then every enemy that isn't inflicted with it is going to do 30% less. So in a group of 5 enemies, one guy is going to be hitting her for 30% more, while everyone else is only going to hit her for 70%. Furthermore, she also deals damage equal to 4% of her max HP against that Retribution target. Then we have increased damage in arena, and then the ultimate. She, when activated, restores 75% HP immediately, and during the skill effect increases max HP by an additional 60%. Damage date increases by 175%, and attack interval increases by 30%, so it becomes longer, so it takes longer for her to attack. This effect will be permanent upon the second activation. Let's have a look at base stats. We have 31,000 HP, 6,300 attack. And the way you build her and the way she turns ridiculous is finally the Glacier set. So the Glacier set is going to interact with her massive HP pool that's only going to get stronger with her talent, with her ultimate, giving her somewhere in the 200,000 plus HP. And also that then is going to be 6% of 200,000, which if my math doesn't fail me, should be like 12,000 extra attack on top of 12,000, so she'll be sitting at 24,000 attack, 300,000 HP. Her stats are going to get massive. She's going to become super strong. How we are going to be able to use her, that's still to be tested, but just from base stats alone, she has the most ridiculous you'll ever see anywhere, especially if you combine it with the Glacier set. Then also you have this new artifact that is came out, which increases max HP by 7% every 10 seconds on the field up to 21%, and then increases the damage. You sure as hell know this is basically tailor-made for her. And what you can expect from her is she's going to be a tank that tanks but also hits like a truck. That is what she's going to be. And she is going to be the one alongside of Praetus. So this has been all the reasons on why you shouldn't summon, why you should save your summons, and why we should look forward to the next week and the week after and hold out and stay patient. Peace.